as far as a short-term trend in our industries, Afif, I personally feel is not going to be changing too much, apart from the people who are, getting used to the work from home culture, because healthcare is about service at the hospitals. As far as long-term commitment is concerned, and we had actually discussion about the same point a few weeks earlier with our CX team, and we were discussing the same point, and we came out to few pointers on how we actually can deal with it. Few things which we think might change in next couple of years is, number one, people who want to enter healthcare as an industry, they're going to be they have to be very sure about it, because what company are you entering to? Does the company has the right processes, right safety processes, right security protocols? What are the measures they have taken in terms of both employees and and various other stakeholders also, because in current situations, all business partners are also affected if you are in terms of COVID situations. Secondly, I feel one thing very, very strongly is in current situations, a lot of organizations have actually are forced to take some decision based on their financial conditions to make a balance between business and empathy, actually. So as currently organizations who are showing empathy to the employees, any organization who is showing any empathy to the employees, they will definitely have, or they will also reap the benefit of those employees later. So the employees will be more faithful to such organizations, because employees talk about them each other. They will realize that, okay, the company has actually helped us during these times. I would stay committed to such company, or I would look forward to join that company in future.
Right.
So I think empathy or emotional quotient in today's world will definitely play a larger part than any other things.
Great, and hopefully that sticks. So great to hear that from the Medicare segment. So let me go to the services, IT product. Anila, what are some of the things that you see as a future trend? I know you've already set the ball rolling in terms of how work from home can be one of those options, on a longer term basis. Anything else that you see as something that's trending in your industry or the organizations that you consult?
Yeah, because of this work from home, we actually kind of foresee a lot more employees maybe leaving the city and going back and working remotely. So we're trying to kind of figure out how as an HR person can manage remote employees. How much of engagement we can do, because it's very different when they work remotely for a longer period. So right now what we have is, okay, they work for a few days, a few weeks, and they come back to office, and it's a little different. But now we need to kind of put some plan in place as to how to manage this workforce. So we also plan to kind of open office in terms of give them an option to come to office or not to come to office. We definitely wouldn't want to force an employee to come back to office, is what we are sort of planning right now.
Okay. So that also means that you'll have to look at all the possible enablers that will make it easy for people to work from home, and also for managers to manage working from remote, a much easier option.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of products and services start coming up in terms of how do you make working remote a much more viable option.
Yeah, especially when you have folks, around you, children and older parents, and a lot more concerns coming around that from the employees. So we need to be really, really flexible. It's just not about work from home. While working from home, how flexible it should be, is the next thing.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks, Lord Anila. Anuj, over to you now, and being a company that's in existence for so long, and of course, given the kind of dynamic that you've seen in terms of your geographical connect, what are some of those trends that you see happening in the future?
I think the first, I'm just going to build on what I said earlier. I think there is going to be acceleration in terms of the digital approach that we have. We already put in place, specifically the DTOs for our segments. We would see this getting accelerated. Things like, for example, the remote care in the healthcare space for our healthcare business, we would see that remote care will again pick up, and it's going to move quite fast. We would see that trend clearly emerging from our business point of view. As I said, I think the remote service as a concept will again, we would see that getting accelerated. So whatever you can manage remotely, I think that is that would be the trend in the future. And same can also be extended to the employees per se. I think the challenge which we are going to see with the new emerging trend, I think still there are certain roles. I think work from home can work largely for let's say the IT space or a lot of the back end work. But the challenge is for some of our sales and service colleagues, how much of the work can really be managed remotely. I think, can you really do sales remotely? I think as Indians, we still like to, see the salesperson. We need to get hold of the neck, right? If something goes wrong with the product that we buy, we are not really comfortable in buying a product worth 2 crore rupees if you don't see a sales guy. So I think those are some of the things where we are still not really sure. There might be, let's say, combination. Some of the low-end products you can still start selling remotely, but not really all the products. That's what my view is. In some areas, I think our conventional approach would continue, but of course, I think we will see an acceleration in a lot of areas that I spoke about. But there is still, I would say, there is still some value of having the face-to-face connect. I would not see this becoming zero. There won't be any face-to-face connect at all. I think once a situation emerges, it would reduce drastically, but I think there is still an importance of networking, the personal connect. These are the things you can't really do remotely.
Not just looking at from my organization, I think I would also want to put it across as more as general statement. One is, of course, from the short-term perspective, I think it's more about adaptability to the changing scenarios across, whether it is an employer or as an employee, right? That's one in terms of short-term trends that I've seen. The other, in terms of the long-term, last year, somebody had asked me to write an article on gig economy and how sustainable it is and how far it is really going to go ahead into the future. I would say now that gig economy is here to stay for a long time, and a lot of people who have started work from home more as a forceful thing because there's no other option. But there are many people who will come out of this work from home tomorrow and they'll say that no, I would like to continue work from home. This is much more more sensible, more relaxing, and lets me avoid the traffic altogether, and I'm able to focus more on my work. I feel it is more productive for me to work from home. So there will be more people who would want to look at such kind of opportunities or such kind of organizations who are more progressive, I would say, in the current scenario, who would really want to adopt work from home as a long-term scenario or as a long-term strategy. And I'm sure there are many people who would want to move into those kind of organizations. And like rightly what Tanu mentioned, I think if organizations, the way the organizations are behaving today or treating their employees today is really going to determine how many employees are really going to join them in the near future, how empathetic they have been, how sensitive they have been to the needs of the employees. Not just with respect to the work, but also their work from home, how they have, helped them or counseled them, kind of mental wellness that they have created, a kind of an environment that they have created. A lot of things would come into play, a lot of things. And this is more like an acid test for many of the organizations, I would say, as to, okay, what kind of examples are you setting? Are you really standing for the values that you have claimed so far that you stand for? Is something that many employees or many candidates out there are going to look at. So I think in the long term, the employees would have a better say in terms of which organization they would want to join, especially the top performers who can really pick and choose. And organizations really have to pick it up from here. They really need to start looking at how they need to really adapt to this changing scenario. If they don't get into the work from home initiatives and the online learning modules and various other things that they need to build up, whether it is, the digital security and confidentiality, maintaining that for their clients as well and not compromising on that as well, making sure their infrastructure is up to the mark, wherein the client's expectations are not being, ignored at any point in time. So these are things that organizations really need to start looking at. And these are things that are also going to define the working scenario tomorrow in the long term.
So how do you see HR playing a role now? Do you see an evolution in what HR does in making these things happen?
Yes, sure. See, I also see with this work from home things that has come in and a lot of changes that have also got implemented. If you do not create, if you do not reskill your workforce, if you do not create role based positions and do not give role clarity, right? So the changing scenario will definitely go on a backseat, right? A work from home kind of scenario will not work if you are ambiguous in terms of what you need to do. Your role clarity has to be there. So as HR, I think it's important that they start doing a lot more, go much more deeper into the competency mapping part of it, align the different roles as per that, see how they can optimize on the various positions that are there and the various people that are holding the positions, and see how it can be kind of assimilated in such a way that everybody is at a win-win situation. So I guess HR has a bigger role there in trying to partner with each and every business, be sensitive to the business needs of each and every function, each and every aspect of it, and then take a call in terms of how well each role can be defined and how each person can fit into that role, and make it very clear and make it more
Okay.
achievable for them. And because you're also going to have a lot of performance based incentives coming up in the future if you're having a work from home kind of a scenario. So these things will be important. So HR has a role to play in all these aspects.
Okay. I hope they don't start taking feedback from families in terms of how has this person been working from home. Okay. So, but we never know, right? Are we making sure that the environment is conducive for working from home, and are you contributing, well, to your family as well? We never know what this thing could.
I'm sure some organizations are doing that because they really need to know the holistic well-being of an individual. Unless you have a conducive environment at home, there's no way the person can be productive. So I guess you will start getting into that as well, because that is going to be your workplace, right? So
Great.
I'm sure
Great.
HR will get into that as well at some point in time.
So it's great. So we see that even people who are getting into these roles, from an HR perspective, you'd also be validating who's driving these initiatives. Do they have those new competencies as well, even from an HR perspective, right? HR has really come in the forefront like never before, and HR has now become the first, to a large extent, the first point of contact, and then it's everybody else. So whatever HR has created has now become the first point of contact, and then it's the business and everything else, right? So how do you see this happening in your organization, clients, and industries?
What I feel is, we need to be agile. I feel agile organization will use early insights and realign policies and processes and train their maybe organization workforce to focus on customers and challenges. So I think agility is going to be the single biggest reason why some of the organization will tide over this crisis, is what I feel.
Okay. And I was recently talking to a VUCA expert, and I was talking to a couple of folks in the defense as well. And one area that came out quite strongly was, why is there non-agility, or why is there more of fragileness in the way people handle situations? Is because of lack of having gone through simulations or situations like these. Do you think that is also something that, as an HR head, you would consider that I need to take my employees through maybe a certain set of simulations, or certain, I'm not talking of standard written case studies, but something where you actually take them through a physical experience, where then when situations do arise, you're able to see the ability of people to adapt to those kind of situations. Just hypothetically speaking, is that something that you
Yes.
feel HR would want to consider as well?